Welcome to Carolina Christian. This is Ernie back with you this lovely day. Hope God has blessed you richly today. I know He has. If you're watching this video, it's given you a day of life, and we pray that today will be victorious for you. We want to move into our second video of Ruth. So chapter 2 starts out that Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth. Yes, it could have started at a bank, could have started anywhere, I guess, but it starts right here. And it says that he was of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. Now, a lot of folks think, on one hand, that it's not a godly thing for a Christian to have money, because the love of money is the root of all evil. Well, yes, that's true. The love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself. Money is a tool. So, as long as we don't love money, as long as we don't put it first and foremost, God doesn't mind for us to be well off. And, but then again, we don't want to be, like I said, so steeped in wealth that we forget God. It's like a psalm mentions, that Lord, keep me to where I'm not too poor that I steal, but then again, don't make me so rich that I forget you and feel like that I have no need of you. But just give me enough to carry on. Well, Boaz apparently is doing well. God has blessed him, and he is a man of character. We're going to see a lot about Boaz's character here, just in the first 4 verses. And so Ruth asked Naomi, and I'd say Naomi has put Ruth off a few times, as far as gleaning. I think Naomi had a little bit of pride, because it says right here, and Ruth the Moabite said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. I would say Naomi and Ruth's stomach was nibbling on their backbone. I'd say they were getting a little hungry, a little impoverished, and they were having a hard time of it. And so she went, and she gleaned after some reapers. And she went and asked if she could glean. The reaper said, sure, no problem. And then as time goes on, the owner shows up, Boaz. Boaz is a working owner. He doesn't just tell people to go and do, and they do. He gets in the mix of it. He does also. But I want you to listen to what he says to his workers. And I believe that this is the root of a solid business. I think this is the root of how a company should be run. And I believe that this is how Christian companies succeed so well. One, by giving God honor, but two, look at how Boaz addresses his workers. And behold, verse 4, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, the Lord be with you. I mean, I would love for my boss to come up to me, maybe in the hallway, or as we're walking in or leave, going about, the Lord be with you, Ernie. And look at how they responded. The Lord bless you. Well, wouldn't that be awesome? The Lord be with you. The Lord bless you. And it's just pronouncing blessings upon each other. That's a godly way of running a company. That's a godly way of taking care of your workers. And I dare say they were probably paid well too. Well enough to take care of themselves. And then Boaz reaped the benefits as well. I believe God blessed him richly because of how he treated his folks. And how he treated people in general. Because Ruth is out here gleaning, and he asks his reapers, who dat? Who's that out there? And they said, oh, well, she come and asked to glean, and we told her she could. That's the Moabitess woman that came in with Naomi. Boaz had heard of her. And so when he got opportunity, he called her over, and he told her, he said, listen, I want you to only reap in my fields. Don't go anywhere else. Don't look anywhere else. Don't look on other fields. I want you to just reap behind my maidens. Reap with, glean with them, should I say. Glean with my maidens. You stay in my fields. Don't go anywhere else. Stay in my fields. And he said, when you get thirsty, help yourself to something to drink. If you get hungry, please eat. Eat with the maidens and the workers as well. And she was so overcome by this. She fell at his feet and she says, oh, what have I done to deserve this, that you would be so gracious to me? And he says, listen, I know where you come from. I've heard about you. I know how you've honored your mother-in-law and how you left your family and your country, your kinsmen, to come here and to follow your mother-in-law. And they heard of this. And so she goes off to glean. He tells the reapers, listen guys, make sure you take care of her. Make sure that whenever you pick up the sheaves, because what they were used to doing is scooping up the sheaves after they had bundled up the grain and putting it on the wagon and hauling it out. He said, well listen, when you pick up the sheaves in front of her, take a handful out and lay down in its place. Let her reap there, glean there as well. I got reaping on my mind, don't it? And two, they would gather everything, loose grain and everything, and they would gather up this loose grain as well. And that was purpose. That was the good stuff that's already been kind of worked through all the reaping and stuff, kind of like a self beating of the stalk. And they would gather that up as well. He said, and listen, also too, in front of her, put down some handfuls of purpose. I know a lot of times we misquote that, handfuls on purpose. Well, it was handfuls of purpose on purpose. That's what that was. But Boaz, he saw this young woman in need, and he knew Naomi, but he knew that they had a need, and he was able to provide and do something to help these folks. And so she gathers all this up and she takes it back home to Naomi, and Naomi sees all that she brings in, and she says, where have you gleaned today? Oh my goodness, whose field did you work? And she told her, a gentleman by the name of Boaz. And he told me not to glean anywhere else. We're gonna reap, aren't we? I'm gonna have Ruth out there just pulling the mowing side. Glean. He told her not to glean anywhere else. And Naomi told her, don't you glean nowhere else. Don't you go anywhere else to glean. You stay right there in his fields and you glean only in his fields. Don't you let them find you in another field. Now, I want you to take note, because in the next video, we're going to be looking at something that's very important that we learned in this particular chapter of Ruth. But in this chapter, I want to highlight the character of Boaz. He's a man's man. I don't know if he's self-made, but apparently he's doing quite well. He owns land, and he has workers working for him, and he takes care of them well, and he obviously treats them well, and they respect him. There are folks out there that believe, and I've been in industry where don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. I've got a stack of applications this high and I can replace you in a minute. So, that type of attitude. But you see, that's a that's a very high stress environment. And people don't need that. People don't want to work in an environment like that. People don't want to work around people like that. But you do bless them, and you honor God before them and give them the respect that they deserve. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to respect you back. It's true, you reap what you sow. This is Ernie with Carolina Christian, hoping you have a blessed and wonderful day. May God richly bless you as well. And remember, keep looking up, keep your eyes on Him. God bless.